Only mode.
Hey everybody, Greg Davis, Superfill at Rockstar.com. Welcome to the webinar today. Got a special treat in store for you. Um, as a lot of you know, maybe some of you don't know, but I have a business partner by the name of Luke Sample. We call him Lambo Luke because one of the many cars he likes to drive. And but just in case you don't know who Luke is, I actually met him, man, like 3 years ago now. It hasn't seemed like that long, but
Yeah.
in this in this business, that's an eternity. Um, but yeah, I actually met Luke. Back he was actually having a private mastermind for some of his clients, and he allowed me to kind of sit in the back and observe. And I'm telling you, like within like 2 minutes, of hearing him speak, I just knew that there was something different about this guy. Matter of fact, I sent my wife a text. This guy's the smartest person I've seen in CPA yet. And the reason why I said that to her is because one of the main things that I learned from Luke is that while you're driving traffic and while you're doing the CPA stuff, like why just settle for getting paid once, for a lead? Why not get paid four or five, six, even 10 times, for a lead? And there's various ways of doing that. Obviously, especially still giving value, to that lead. And Luke has really mastered that. And he's, I've been online for a long time. He's been online even longer than me. I mean, going back into like the late '90s, you name it, he's done it all. He's done the affiliate thing. He's bought over $100,000 per day on AdWords traffic. He's been an advertiser, um, doing 60 over 30,000 sales per day. And I didn't say $30,000 per day; I said 30,000 sales per day. All right, with a product that's probably around $60. So you can kind of do the math there. So you know um, you will not meet too many people on the planet that have done more with all the various aspects of affiliate marketing than our guest today. And so he never fails to just like blow my mind. And so he has some stuff. I'm looking forward to myself because actually I haven't even seen all the stuff that he's going to show today. So I'm looking forward to it just like you. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Luke Sample.
Sweet. Thanks, Greg. It's going to be hard to intro to live up to, but we're going to try to do our best. Uh, so, as Greg mentioned, guys, I've been around for a long time since, 99 is really when I really started to get serious about it. Probably dabbled a little bit before that while I was in high school. But um, so I've done a lot of things, and after a few years of toying around with different business models and stuff online, I started focusing on affiliate marketing initially as just an affiliate, and then moved over into the advertiser side and then network owner and all that type of thing, right? And so I've had a chance to kind of grow or evolve my online business models. And what I'm hoping we can kind of cover here today is I want to kind of try to leapfrog you guys ahead a little bit. Instead of having to go through all the issues I went through and figure this stuff out and finally get to a point to where I'm pinning down a few of the most profitable models, why not just point you guys in that direction? And so we kind of wanted to talk about what I'm going to call advanced affiliate tactics. Now that doesn't necessarily mean they're difficult. It just means these are the ones we've settled on, and a lot of the information you're going to see today you've probably never heard before. And like Greg said, I haven't even really showed him all this stuff yet. So uh, let's go ahead and get to the next piece of the puzzle here I want to talk about, which is we made some pretty bold claims, right? Greg, I know, posted on Facebook some pretty bold claims of things we could pull off, and I saw some guys trying to guess and kind of what was going on. So, is it actually possible, or were we full of shit when we started talking about you can run any ad that you want pretty much on any service? I know a lot of you guys and have been around for a while, so try to get a dating ad with big cleavage approved on Facebook or something like that, right? Or a farticle approved on AdWords. It's difficult. Again, been through the whole cloaking business model, did that game, uh, done all of that kind of stuff, right? Well, this is going to allow us to kind of leapfrog that a little bit. All right, so you can bypass the approvals, Google and Facebook being my two favorites to flip the bird to. You can get clicks on AdWords in Facebook for zero. And it can actually happen. I'll show you guys. And yes, that means free. Um, and I know for sure you guys are saying this guy is so full of shit right now. Um, we can get premium banner placement on some really big websites. Again, no approvals, not going to cost you anything for the impressions or the clicks. Run your own CPV traffic. Rank #1 in Google for any keyword pretty much instantly, which we're going to show a demo of today if you guys are cool with. And get traffic from banners that don't even exist. What the hell does that mean, right? So is all this stuff possible, or are we full of it? It's definitely possible. And in fact, what I want to do is demo some of that for you live to prove it is possible. And you guys have to make me one promise, though. If I demo this stuff and show you that it's possible, you better get your butt to Greg's event and hang out with us. So is that cool? Yeah, awesome. All right, so let's talk about specifically kind of where we're going to start here. So this is for you beginners and your intermediates. You're going to have to put your seatbelt on here for a minute, because these may be things you have never done or even heard about, which is fine. I want to make sure I get you the most important information so you can leapfrog and not have to learn all this stuff on your own. And for the advanced guys, I guarantee you there's going to be some stuff here you haven't seen, or some nuggets. And the reason I can guarantee that is because I know for a fact nobody else is doing some of this stuff. So here's the main goal of these types of business models that we've kind of started to settle on, these most profitable ones. What I'm going to say is what you're going to see today. If you're not implementing some of these methods, you're going to be left behind in this coming year. So in 2014, you can forget about being able to buy large amounts of traffic very profitably. Now, this always happens, and you guys have seen this back in the old AdWords days. Greg mentioned, we used to spend over $100,000 a day on AdWords, and AdWords called me daily. The AdWords employees actually were the ones that made our ads for us. We didn't have to make them. And back then, it was just you write your ad, you know about what you can pay for each click, no matter where the traffic is coming from, and you just turn the faucet on. Those were the good old days. Then it became more and more difficult as competition increased. Competition continues to increase, and there are so many spy tools available and all these different things now to where it makes it really difficult to stay ahead of the curve. So that's what we want to focus on, getting you ahead of the curve. And you're not going to be able to compete with other affiliates that are running these types of methods, because we're making 5 times or more the margin that you're making. It's going to be hard for you to buy the same traffic. In fact, I know a lot of you guys have probably experienced this. Let me know if you have. But you go to a competitive intelligence tool, whatever that may be, what runs where, or whatever you use. You rip a campaign off. You copy it exactly. You even possibly think you make some improvements to it. You run the thing, and you are not profitable, especially in the really competitive niches. Why the hell? How are these guys running these ads? Well, sometimes they're running other systems. Sometimes it's the advertiser directly, so they're getting more margin. But typically, it's just based on they're getting more margin. So you have to get more margin. That's the entire key. Get more margin. Get into the models where you can make the most margin and the most money. Right? That's the whole point. All right. So let's get into the specifics here. The first thing is you got to start taking control of your traffic. It's really important to be able to, throw up an ad without having to deal with approvals. Obviously there's huge advantages there. And be able to, point all your traffic instantly to somewhere else, or different things like that, where you are in full control. That's really important. If you can take charge of the traffic you generate, and then to take that a step further, if you can start to take charge of the data that you generate, which we're going to talk about in a minute, you can monetize that as well. So, you're going to get those free impressions, free clicks, bypass the annoying approvals, all that stuff if you control your own traffic. So the name of the game, as you evolve and grow in your online business and you start to make more and more and more, you're going to learn that you need to control every piece of your business, specifically the traffic. I can promise you, you will get sick and tired of dealing with Google and Facebook and all those other issues. So we're going to go through 3 different examples today of really their different business models, but then I'm also going to show a couple examples that merge those business models together. Okay, and if you guys know much about me or kind of what I've done in the past as far as helping guys, I'm a black hat guy for sure. I do a lot of white hat stuff, but I like to play in the black hat arena. So these 3 models are going to be from light gray to, I guess, what you would call black hat. Okay. Nothing illegal though. I'm not really interested in going to jail. So as I don't know if you guys have ever heard Arnold or Schwarzenegger, but he's got an awesome motivational speech where he really harps on it's very important to break the rules. No innovators ever innovate without breaking rules, or it's very rare. So I'm always excited about bending the rules just a little bit to my advantage. That's how you innovate. So the light gray, and you're going to start to see these terms, I guarantee it, guys. These are terms that I've coined, but I guarantee you after this webinar and after Greg's event, you're going to start to see this stuff out there. Data siphoning. You probably never heard of that before because I made it up. Data siphoning allows you to collect data with no loss in conversion. Normally, when you try to collect your own data, you're throwing up your own landing page prior to the affiliate offer, and a lot of times you can lose conversion that way. Sometimes you can increase conversion on a landing page before an offer, but rarely can you increase conversion with a landing page that collects data before you pass them to the offer. Okay, so I'm going to show you how that can be done, where you can collect the data without losing conversion, and that's going to allow you to triple your profit margin for a lot of reasons. The main one obviously being you've got the data, you can do all kinds of cool stuff with it, which we'll talk about. And I'm going to let you get a little peek at our back-end monetization software, which I'm going to talk about more in detail at Greg's event. So the one thing I do want to say about these methods, by the way, as well, is because they are sort of gray hat, black hat in nature, I can't give you every single specific detail today, but you're going to get enough to where you'll be able to go out and start to kind of do these things on your own. If you come to Greg's event, you obviously get even a lot more than that. But I can only give so much, and I'm gonna give you the most I possibly can. So that's the light gray. We're gonna go into the dark gray then, and again, another term, site sniffer. You'll probably start to hear that. Again, another made-up term, but this is basically allows you to leverage authority websites and give you full monetization control over those sites. Again, it allows you to collect opt-ins, allows you to do pop-ups on the site and different things like that. Okay, so that's called the site sniffer, and we utilize that as well. The site sniffer alone is probably the least powerful of the 3 methods we're going to talk about today. However, when combined with the other 2, it gets pretty ridiculous, which you're going to see some examples of. And then the third thing we're going to talk about is the dark method, the kind of welcome to the dark side here. And this is what's really crushing it and changing the game, where you literally kind of own your own traffic. This has been done, multiple times before, but not by regular affiliates typically. I know a couple of guys that were based out of California that were doing something similar to this, and consistently pulling in 200 grand a day, consistently for an extended period of time. So it's not like, hey, I did some big blasts or some big buys and they worked out for a few weeks. No, that like a long time. One of the guys that does this is funded by, this is going to sound really stupid, but by like an Arabian prince, right? One of those guys that's got like 75 Lamborghinis, one for every day of the week. So it's big money and it's a big deal. So we're going to talk about that as well. I'm going to show you some examples. All right, so let's talk about data siphoning first. Data siphoning is the first little example I want to give you. So let's go to, I'm going to take you over to the browser and show you our first example of data siphoning. What we're going to use is a green tea offer. I think this thing pays somewhere around like, it's close to 70 bucks, I think, something like that. So here's what normally happens when you're an affiliate with an offer like this, right? You drive the traffic here, and I'm going to give you some numbers in a minute, but these people opt in and then they buy or they don't, okay? What the advertiser gets here is your traffic, your opt-ins, and they're going to get a certain percentage of conversions that they, one, don't pay you on because they're scrubbing or shaving, or two, because they make those sales from the follow-up sequence. So what you have to understand, and this is why you need to evolve as an affiliate, okay? This is why you need to kind of change your mindset. Advertisers and affiliates have opposing incentives, okay? They are at conflict. As an advertiser, let's say I'm the advertiser, you're the affiliate, right? As the advertiser, what I really want to do is pay you just enough so you keep sending traffic. One of the ways to do that is to, of course, you can scrub and shave until the affiliate decides he's going to quit sending traffic. And then you can go back to the network and adjust that, right? You guys have probably had to play that game with an advertiser before. Another way to do that is to adjust conversions based on, typically these are a two-page sales process, right? So page 1 is an opt-in, page 2 is an order form, okay? The idea that an advertiser has is, okay, if the person completes page 2 right there live on the site, then I'm going to have to pay the affiliate a commission. So the goal is to balance this fine line between the affiliate getting commission and the person actually completing page 2 versus the person not. So what that means is you don't, as an advertiser, you don't want your conversions to be extremely high between page 1 and page 2 for the affiliates pages, at least, okay? I know that sounds dirty and whatever else, but that's just straight up. Like, you guys are on Greg's list. I know you can handle, being straight up. So that's their idea. Your idea is you want to get as many conversions as possible. So what happens is they make sure that the conversions aren't too high one way or another by forcing it or by design changes so that they can collect the opt-ins. Those opt-ins are where they make their money, because when they make a sale to an opt-in at a later date, let's say through an email follow-up sequence, or their call center calls all their what's called partials, which are people that just opted in and didn't buy. They make 100% of those typically, except for their fees for emailing it or talking to, or for the call center agent. But that's typically way lower than the $70 they would pay you as an affiliate. Okay, significantly lower. So with that thought in mind, let me just give you some quick numbers here, just so you have an idea of how this works. Here's what happens as an advertiser, and I can tell you this from experience. This is basically what you're going to see. Let me up my font here so you can see how this works. I'm going to show you how we take advantage of this. So you're going to get on this type of a page, on a decent page, you can get much higher than this, but 30% opt-in rate from cold traffic, all right? So 30% of the traffic is going to opt in, and then 10% of those people are going to actually buy. All right. So let me actually, if I can do this here, I'm going to pull up the calculator too and show you guys this, which is kind of important. So what that basically means is, let's say you send 10,000 clicks, okay? So you paid for 10,000 clicks. The advertiser is going to get about 3,000 opt-ins, and you're going to make about 30 sales. So let's run some quick math here, and I'll tell you how this works. All right. So 30 sales at 70 bucks breaks down to $2,100, right? $2,100 for you. Okay, that's fine. Now here's what actually happens on the advertiser side. What happens is, from those 30% opt-ins, I'm going to be able to get another 10% to buy from the opt-ins. Okay, so when you start to run the math there, you got 10%. Basically, he's making the same amount just from those opt-ins that you were. So you're missing out on half your money right there. So the first thing we need to do is figure out how we're going to collect this data without losing conversion. And let me show you a demo of how we do that. And then I'll explain how it works. So here's the offer. Okay. I'm going to put in some test information here. Let's call it first name test this, last name I test, and then whatever, and we'll do this, and then blah blah blah. This doesn't matter. Blah blah blah. It's all junk. Okay, so what happens now if you run this method, what we call data siphoning? So the lead submits their order. They go to the second page, okay, which is the order form, and they're going to put in their credit card information at the bottom of this page. But here's what happens. This is where it gets interesting. Let me log into this account real quick. Off screen. All right. Actually, guys, you know what? I gotta fix something. One second. We're gonna redo that. We're gonna redo it. Resubmit. I wasn't live on my thing here. All right, let's redo that. Sorry. All right, so again, traffic's driven here. Blah, blah, blah. All right, now we submit. Okay, now we go to the order page, right? This is the second page. This is a different offer. The other one was I was using a different offer. So I wanted to show you this particular offer. All right, so what happens now, this is the iContact account. Don't ever mind the name. And what you'll see, as soon as it loads, is we've collected the data, okay? All right, so there's the data. Now we've got it. But wait, they went to the advertiser's order page, right? This is okay, so we're still good. So what happened is, you can see there's no loss in conversion here because the landing page was exactly the same. There was no different landing page for them. We didn't add an extra step, nothing, right? This is why we call it data siphoning. It's basically just sucking the data out as well as passing it to the advertiser, and then they move to page 2 and complete the offer. You've got the info. Now, here's where it gets crazy. If we actually run this, I'm going to log in here with, oops, log into our back end here. I'm going to show you what happened. Now, I can't give you full details here. If you come to Greg's event, you'll see more details, but let me show you something. All right, this was ASD, blah, blah, blah. There he is, October 3rd. Test this, right? So you'll notice there was some other revenue made there. And if you come to the event, I'll give you more details there. But the bottom line is we collected the data, we monetized it. Game over, right? That's how it works. So now instead of the advertiser getting all that extra money and all that, you missing out, you're getting the most amount possible. Okay, this is called data siphoning. So let's look at what actually happened here. What actually happened was we replicate the CPA offers landing page on our own server. We collect the data. That data is then auto-submitted to the advertiser's page 1. And then the person is redirected to the advertiser's page 2. Okay? And then we can monetize on that data, which you saw. Okay, so does that make sense, guys? Data siphoning. We replicate the offers landing page. We own that page now. It's ours. We put it on our server. When the person fills it out, two things happen. We get the data. The data is also passed to the advertiser, and the person goes on to the advertiser's page too as if nothing happened. That's data siphoning. I don't think I've ever seen anyone else talk about that anywhere else. Has anyone ever seen that before? Data siphoning? Yeah, some people are flipping out. Yeah, no, never. Yeah, no. Yeah. So that's one example, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. That's a tiny thing you can do. Okay, so let's move to the next thing. Obviously, we collected the data, we monetized it instantly, which you'll hear about if you come to Greg's event. We lost 0 conversion. We monetized it multiple times, not just once. And here's the kicker: you can actually do this without driving traffic. Okay, so if you're a leads guy, you can actually use the same system, which we'll talk about. And a couple of guys said there was a product that did this before. No, there wasn't. This is completely different than that, actually. Not even close to the same thing. You'll see if you come to the event. But yeah, so that's how that works. Been doing that for a long time. It works beautifully. Now, that's the beginner level, right? That's the gray level. So now we move to the site sniffing portion, all right? Site sniffing, again, is going to allow us to leverage authority sites, create pop-ups directly over the sites, and we can monetize it with offers. We can monetize it with opt-ins. You guys may have seen this one before. This is something that is great to have, but isn't super powerful by itself. Where you're going to see the power is here in a minute when we talk about the black hat method. And it's similar, yeah, it's similar to trust jacking. Let me show you how this works. All right. So here's the Apple website, right? If we have the ability to drive people to let's just say what they think is directly to the Apple website, okay? And we can monetize that with a relevant offer or whatever, we're going to make some cash, right? Obviously. So you guys probably are already, wheels are already turning what you can do. Here's a quick example of what you can do with this type of a system. So you'll see here we've added text at the top of the Apple site, and then it's a free iPhone. Okay, opt-in. So you're collecting data at least. Now, that's pretty awesome, but not really in and of itself nearly as powerful as it could be. Okay, but that's just an example of what we call site sniffing. So you can basically use the authority of the site you're sending to, and this will work for pretty much any site. So I mean, you're talking, you know, if you want to send them to wherever, it doesn't matter, and have your stuff pop, or add text at the top, or you can do banners. You can do all kinds of crazy stuff, right? So there are lots of different examples I have here, but this is one decent one. So that's site sniffing. I wanted you to be aware of that before we move to the next part, okay? So here's the question. How many of you guys want to see like some free Facebook and some Google #1 searches? So I just want to make sure we see yes. Okay, yes. Somebody said, why not? Like, yeah, why not? Like, it's no big deal. Okay, so let's talk about.
Hey, you guys can post
Showing
in the
some
group too. Get some interaction there, just so I'm keeping an eye on the group. So some people are posting in the group too.
Sweet, yeah, guys, post, absolutely, post in the group. Feel free to post in the group. All right, so yeah, Bing, whatever, we can do whatever search engine we want. So let's go ahead and do this. We're going to go ahead and take a walk on the dark side here. Now we're going to get into the real stuff, as I like to call it. Okay. Again, I'm going to give you as much as I possibly can here, but you better show up to Greg's event to get the full details, because I'm going to do a little magic on the screen you're about to see. So let's do a couple of things here. Let's move to all right. let's do this first. This is one of my favorites. Let's choose a huge website. Let's say imdb.com. I think they're in the top 50 Alexa, right? I mean, you guys all know IMDb, right? Everybody knows IMDb. Huge site, one of the biggest ones on the planet. How much do you guys think it costs for this banner right here? Any ideas? Okay, yeah. I always love that answer. A shit ton. It's one of my favorite lines. Somebody said not much if it's retargeting. Yeah, not retargeting. So yeah, I mean it's going to be quite expensive. So here's the key. Let me show you guys how this works. I want to show you guys how by controlling your own traffic, you do something pretty cool here. All right. Now this is I'm going to go over here to screen 2. I'm doing the magic portion of the presentation, which you will see at the event, but I can't show it here, unfortunately. But here's basically what happens. So when we do this by pure magic, Greg Davis and Luke Sample own the banner. I thought Greg would probably like that banner.
I like
it. So this click and this impression cost us 0. Okay? So again, controlling our own traffic. Now, think about this for a second. Assuming you can do this, this ad doesn't have to go through the ad network. It doesn't have to be approved. None of that. So, I mean, think about all the stuff that you couldn't have run before that you could run now. All those things where everybody was like, oh, it was the heyday back then because we could do this. Well, you can still do it if you know what you're doing, right? So that's an example. Let's do this. Let's do one more. This is a big one. MSN.com. So, again, you guys can take a guess of how much traffic you can get here and what it would cost to be here. Let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to do my magic, wave my magic wand, say my magic word, shit tons of money, or whatever magic word you prefer. We'll refresh the page. And again, Greg Davis and Luke Sample own that banner. Without approvals, costs nothing for the impression, costs nothing for the click. Right? Game on. Is that enough, or should I keep going, guys? Yeah, it's pretty sick. Yeah, so, all right, let's move on to another example. I know a lot of you guys do a lot of Facebook marketing, so let's go to Facebook. Let's play some Facebook games. So, again, Luke Sample and Greg Davis own this Facebook position here. You can see free clicks. That's right. We get any Facebook ad approved and pay 0 for the clicks. Pretty darn powerful. Now, here's the other cool thing. See the blinking ad? Right? That's not going to get approved on Facebook. How massively standout-ish is that ad compared to what you normally see on Facebook? Now, I didn't do any like risque dating ads or anything like that as an example. I didn't really know who was going to be on or whatever. But imagine the stuff you could do if that just appeared there and it was yours. Now, here's something else that's pretty cool. Let me do another little piece of magic. Somebody's talking to me on Facebook. Awesome. Let me do this. All right, let's move to. I'll do another little wave of my magic wand, and we'll do this. Refresh. And now we are a suggested post, which again, we paid 0 for, we had no approvals, and it's there, right? So it's pretty straightforward. We have full control over what's happening, and you are controlling the traffic. This is how you make a pile of money, guys. It's you have to be ahead of the game. So I just switched it back to be our regular sponsored ad. So again, I want you guys to think about this. An hour ago, if somebody told you, look, you can run any ad you want on Facebook, what do you think about that? I mean, would you want to do that? Of course, right? Absolutely. Yes, this is of course legal, absolutely, 100% legal, and I'll explain all of that at Greg's event and kind of get into all the details. But yeah, it's 100% legal, and that's how it works. Okay, so now we're not done, unless you guys want me to be. Do we want to see anything else, or do we want to? Yeah. So okay, cool. All right, let's see some more. Everybody says, oh, let's see some SEO or something like that. All right, so let's do one example in the search engines, and then we'll come back and we'll do another example that combines maybe the search engine and the site sniffer, so you guys can kind of see what I was talking about there. When you combine the two things, then you're really going to be like, holy crap. All right, so here's how this works. Let's do a search. Actually, one second. Let me come over here to my magic wand area. All right. All right, I'm going to do a search. Let's just stay with the Apple theme. Let's do iPhone 5. Okay, so as you can see, Apple ranks #1 here. There are a couple of there's sponsored results here, obviously, AdWords. But in organic, Apple's #1. How long do you think it would take? How much money do you think it would take to outrank Apple for the term iPhone 5? Would it even be possible? Yeah, never. Lots. It would take forever. Millions of dollars. Yes, it would. Okay, so now here's what I'm going to do. You guys time this. Okay, ready? Go. I'm going over to my magic wand. Let's see how long it takes me to rank. For now, this isn't going to appear for 100% of you guys, and you'll see why later. Let's see if we're there yet. Yep, get a free iPhone 5. Now, notice this says apple.com phone giveaway, right? Now, check out where we go when we click on this. See if this looks familiar to you. Does that look familiar? Yeah, absolutely. So now your brain is turning, right? Now you're thinking about, I see how all these pieces start to work together, right? Site sniffer by itself, not that, I mean, it's powerful, right? And not many people know how to use it. But when you can just do that and instantly ranks, it's game over, right? So that's one example. Let me take this out so we don't get a bunch of traffic that we don't want right now. All right, back to my magic wand. We'll do page refresh and okay, back to Apple. So let's look at the next part. Let's do this. You guys will enjoy this one. This is kind of along those same lines. I have to look at my magic wand again here, do one more thing so we're make sure it's ready. All right. So if we search for, let's do Craigslist. Okay. And it goes to, I get St. Louis because I'm close to St. Louis, Missouri. Okay. And now here's the amazing thing, though. I want you guys to see what happens when I do this. Luke Sample and Greg Davis apparently own Craigslist as well.
Yeah.
So just another example of, yeah. It gets way better than that too, guys. I mean, we can go in here and think about being able to post Craigslist ads and whatever you want. I mean, we won't even get into any of that. I mean, that's just So that's just yet another example of kind of how you can start to combine some of these methods. So I told you guys it wasn't BS. We could rank number one for pretty much any key term uh, right away, and all the other cool stuff was happening, right? So, yeah, everybody's freaking out. So, I mean, here's the deal. I was doing a little magic on the other screen and stuff. Again, come to Greg's event. We'll give you a lot more detail on what's happening on that magic, kind of how it works. I gave as much as I possibly could on. I mean, Greg's got a ton of people on this webinar. We don't know who's on and all that kind of stuff. So I want to make sure that we don't give away too much, and that's what Greg's event's for. So come on out, meet us out there, and you guys will get a lot more info. But that's just some demo stuff. And again, going back to kind of what we talked about in the beginning, just to kind of bring this, full circle, which is leapfrog, control your traffic. And when I say leapfrog, I mean get into the most profitable methods right out of the gate. I was daddling around with all these other little methods and, all that stuff for many years, and advertisers and everything else. The whole key that I found to most methods is controlling everything. Okay, so we're finally getting to a point to where we're able to control the traffic and put up cool stuff. Again, just your mind should be just going crazy with possibilities. I mean, think about the ads you could put on Facebook. Think about ranking number one for anything you want, just that alone. But then being able to link wherever you want. Think about, the content on that page doesn't have to be SEO optimized or any of that mess. Think about AdWords, not paying for any of those clicks and getting anything you want approved, articles, you name it, right? Cloaking, thing of the past. So CPV traffic, you get it for free, right? You can do your own CPV network, basically. So control your traffic, get into more advanced, more profitable methods like this, control your traffic, control your data, and then you control your business, and you make a lot more money. And I mean a lot more money. So anyway, Greg, that's just some of the demos I had. Hopefully that was
Yeah, that's pretty
good
impressive,
enough.
man. Yeah, yeah, it's gotten better since you showed me. That was a while ago when you showed me what you're doing. So it's gotten more advanced. That's really good. But just
Yeah.
so these guys, I mean, yeah, this isn't just like some little tricks and people like some kind of retargeting or cookie tricks or something like that. I mean,
No, no, no.
let's talk about. I mean, like, because I think we're talking about the same people like that. We know people that are doing these types of methods and they're making like, I mean, like insane amounts of money. I mean, like what 200,000-300,000 a day or more.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. I've had a few. I know there were a few weeks there where they were crossing the $400,000 a day mark, and literally it's like a 3 or 4 man team. So again, here's what I always say. I was actually just talking to one of my buddies about this, and it is like, if you want to be like flying a helicopter around, your own helicopter or whatever, you want, multiple Lamborghinis like some of these Arabian princes drive or whatever else, you got to look at what you're doing and say, is that kind of money possible with the business model I'm in? And a lot of people don't even put those two things together. They just keep putting their head down, grinding, grinding, grinding. They want all these things and they want to make $200,000 a day. But what they're doing is never going to get them there, right? So you have to pick a business model similar to this, where we fully control and where that type of money is possible if you want to get there. If you don't want to make that much money, that's fine. That's a different story. Then your business model can be different. But it's important to pay attention to that, because I talk to a lot of people who are like, oh, yeah, I want to make $200,000 a day. Well, what method are you doing? Well, I'm writing articles. Like, what? That's never going to happen, right? So you got to be aware of what your goals are and what's going to get you there. So
for sure. All right. Well, hey, I'm just gonna tell. I mean, we pretty much laid it out. This is just kind of a taste of what we're gonna have at the event. I mean, because just like you said, affiliate millionaires is focused on things that you can do as an affiliate to make seven figures. Okay, and that's exactly how we're going here. This is not traditional stuff. This is not. I mean, we're talking outside of the box. We're talking just deep down, nitty gritty. Sometimes very black hat stuff. But this is what it's about. So, and again, the whole the whole event is obviously not going to be black hat stuff, and a lot of stuff that Luke does do, like he was explaining to, is not necessarily black hat. So,
Right.
but this is what it's about. I mean, this is what we're going to be talking about. The stuff that a, nobody else is talking about, and b, stuff that's making people a ton of money. Okay, so here, let me real quick tell you guys how to join us. I don't even want to go through the whole. I know you guys are just anxious just to figure out, okay, like how do I get there? So let me just jump down to the end here. Um, here. So anyway, my event October 17th to 20th. Some of the speakers. There's Luke and everybody else there. Here, I got to get to the good part. Media buys, all stuff. Blah blah blah. Secrets. Black Hat Night. That's where Luke's going to be unveiling some of the stuff that he showed you tonight. Um,
Yep.
Testimonies out the ass. Yeah, so here we go. So here's the deal. Like the ticket is 1997. Okay, $1,997, which I think is a bargain for 4 days of the caliber speakers that you're going to have and just the type of information that you saw tonight. I mean, I think you would agree that if you could do some of the stuff that Luke, or if you had his magic wand, that could do some of the stuff that he could do, then that would be well worth $2,000. But look, we have a special until midnight, October 4th. The price is $11.97. Okay, so you can save $800 if you order your ticket before midnight Friday night. Okay, so it's $11.97. Go over to gregdavisevent.com and go ahead and order that. Okay, and Luke's decided to. He's agreed to throw in a super secret bonus. I didn't even notice to the other day, but I was because as many of you know, I am in on a Power Network and have made quite a bit of money from it, although promoting it very sporadically. So I was perusing the leaderboard here. What name did I see for the total member signups the last 7 days? Luke Sample, number two. Uh, let's see, number eight for the past 30 days. Total income, which is what really counts. Luke Sample, number one over the past 7 days. He's ahead of Vic. Okay, Vic is like the highest earning Empower guy ever. Okay, and I mean, so, and how long have you been promoting Empower, Luke?
Uh, Almost 3 weeks. I think it'll be 3 weeks tomorrow.
Okay, so almost 3 weeks, and he's already, absolutely crushing it. Okay, absolutely crushing it. As you can see, and this is I just pulled this up. This is the actual live leaderboard right here. So anyway, as an extra special fast action bonus, Luke is going to share his secrets to how he was able to dominate Empower after only 3 weeks. All right, so this is like stuff he's never talked. This is just brand new. This is just like we just talked about. I was like, look, I want to throw in something extra for him, Luke. Something to really super compelling to get him over the top, to get them to the event. And so he graciously agreed to share his secrets for how he did that. So I mean,
Yeah.
look, and that's no that's no magic wand. That's just you know that's not even using the magic wand.
No, yeah. The, I will be using the magic wand for it, but I haven't even started it yet. So,
All right,
yeah.
so that's that. I mean, like you can go read the sales letter. I mean, covered a lot of stuff, but again, I just wanted to let you know, like this is what Luke is going to be covering at the event, and if you're as excited about it as I am, I mean, his stuff is worth the price of admission by itself. All right, so get on over here. You can save $800 before tomorrow night. There we go. So 1197 plus Luke's secret bonus. Only if you order your ticket before midnight on Friday night. All right. So gregdavisevent.com. That's that. Do you feel like taking questions, Luke? I know we got what time? I said it's gonna be over at 3. So do you want to
Yeah,
take
I mean,
questions? It's up to you.
sure, we'll take a few. I don't mind.
All right, cool. All right, well, let's see. I made you an organizer, so I think you can
I know
see.
there's going to be probably a lot wanting to know what the magic wand is, but
Yeah. Somebody said, Luke, will you coach me? Oh, right. Well, I like that.
I well, I used to. I
Luke's,
haven't
Luke's
coached in a
retired from
long time.
coaching. He's retired.
Yeah, I used to. I don't do it anymore.
Uh,
Um, let's see. There's a couple specific to the event, DVDs and stuff like that. Who am I looking forward to most speaking at the event? Man, I don't know. I'll tell you what, guys. Here's the thing. I don't know, how long you guys have been in the industry. I know some of you guys are advanced, some of you guys are new. As far as like putting together a group of real marketers, like not the guys that are like on the Warrior Forum, like selling crap. I mean, the guys that are in the trenches or girls in the trenches actually making money and doing it, real marketers with real businesses. Um, Greg's put together a hell of a lineup. I can tell you that. I can say that I've never seen like a group of real marketers do an event like this, quite like this. And I've been around for a long time, so that's a really hard question. I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of looking forward to hearing what a lot of these guys say. I know a lot of them, um, so I'm just kind of interested in. I don't think any one person stands out. There's too many good ones to choose.
so we got a few
Uh,
questions. People already bought tickets. Ask if they can have access to the bonus, and as long as it's cool with Luke, yes, yes. If
sure.
you've already shown your, you're already going to be there. So yeah, we'll definitely
Yep.
reward you for that as well. Somebody
Sure.
said something. Let's see. Let's see. Um, do they have to download spyware for this? No, no spyware.
Um, can your methods be applied to mobile marketing? Uh, some can and some can't. Just depends on what you're doing. Um, there are definitely ways to make it work, especially if you have access to a mobile redirect system. So if you're using either like iMobile Track or something like that, which you can redirect based on handset or just a generic mobile versus desktop detector and redirect, you can do a lot more cool things. So yeah, you can do some mobile stuff for sure. And we're working feverishly to do more things with mobile, but it's more difficult right now with mobile.
Will the magic wand be revealed at the event? Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Is the magic wand Patron? No, it's not. So Luke really doesn't drink, so no, that's not his secret. That's my secret. That's not his secret.
Greg drinks for both of us, and then
We'll be offering DVDs of the event. Excuse me. Everybody that buys a ticket, you're gonna get online recordings. And if you do a VIP registration, then you will get the actual DVD. So everybody will get access to recordings. Everybody will get access to the live stream, and the VIPs will get access to all of that plus the physical DVDs. So
um, I don't know if Greg's got a. I don't think you've got a schedule lineup yet or anything. Do you,
no,
Greg?
nope.
Yeah, it'll be pinned down closer to the event. So
Yeah, it's gonna start Monday. Excuse me. It's gonna start 9 a.m. on Thursday, October 17th. It's gonna end 3 p.m. on Sunday, October the 20th. Anything in between then is fair game.
but just another thing about Greg's events too, guys. Like everybody he's got are obviously real marketers and stuff, and super intelligent, nice people, approachable. So like you're gonna get a lot of benefit networking with people there, but also a lot of the speakers will be around as well. So very accessible. So you're gonna get some benefit there as well that you wouldn't
Yeah,
normally get
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's really a lot more than just the content that you see from the stage. I mean, that's going to be great, of course, but really it's the interaction. I mean, interaction with us as speakers as well as interaction with with yourself. I mean, with amongst yourself because this whole internet marketing, affiliate marketing thing is pretty lonely. I mean, like if you think about it, like most guys, you're at home doing this by yourself. Your family doesn't understand what you're doing. Your friends don't understand what you're doing. So for this 4 days, you're going to be around people that get it. People that get you. And I think that a shortcut to success in this in this business is relationships. It's forming relationships, and the best way to do that is face to face. At these types of events. So I think that the networking and social aspect of it will be just as important as the actual content.
Yeah, I mean, David brought up a good point. He said the beauty of Greg's events are hanging out after hours and sharing info. That's that's a really good point. And no, the magic wand does not take advantage of people's browser insecurity or whatever.
And people are going to be.
Security holes was the question. It does not take advantage of security holes. I'm pretty sure that would be illegal.
People are going to be killing themselves trying to figure this out up to the event. But yeah, it's big money, big money. Um, let's see. Can we see everything, including Black Friday night and live streaming? Yes, you can. Yeah, you'll be able to see the entire event live streaming. But like I was saying before, if at all possible, I mean, really, come in person. You come in person because you're going to get a lot more benefits. Over and above just watching the content. So we have airplanes; they fly, all over the world. There's a hotel there. Make it. I don't, people talking about, well, I'm in Asia, I'm in Australia. I mean, I have people from Australia and Asia that are coming. That came to my other events. So that's not an excuse. There's no excuses. I mean, I did have somebody that's like wife's about to have a baby, and somebody else has some health problems. So in those cases, yeah, don't jump on the plane. Watch the live stream. But other than that, you guys don't have any excuses. We got planes, trains, and automobiles. Get here, and there's going to be special bonuses for people that are there because every day I'm going to give away something. Some special bonus, and it's going to be something physical I give away. So the live stream people aren't going to be able to partake of that. So it's going to be a lot of benefits. Being there live, first and foremost of which you can just hang out with me in person, shake my hand, do some shots, whatever we do. And you get to meet Lambo Luke. I don't think he's bringing his Lambo, but he'll be there.
No.
So
flying.
Yeah, so he's taking the G6 over from St. Louis. So, all right. Any other questions? Location. It's going to be in DC. It's actually going to be in Arlington, Virginia, which is like about 10 minutes from the DC airport. So there's actually a shuttle that goes from the airport to the hotel. So you don't even have to get a cab. You just hop on a shuttle. You'll be at the hotel in like 10 minutes. But it's the where is it? It's the in front of me. It's the Sheraton. Can't even talk. Sheraton, Pentagon City.
Yeah, Pentagon City.
So it's right over by the Pentagon.
But James, I'm sure the bride would understand if you just told her, like, look, I got to go to Greg's event. I'm sorry.
Oh, wedding? Oh, man, come on.
I mean, he's just the best man. I mean, it's not even like he's getting married.
I don't know. How good of a friend is he? Well, if the wedding is Saturday, I mean, we haven't nailed down. Well, actually, Luke's going to be talking on Friday night. I know for sure. So depending on what time it is Saturday, you might be able to take a plane back. So I don't know. I hate it for you, buddy. All right. Do people who got the ticket through the mobile blueprint get the bonuses as well? Yes, yes. If you already have a ticket to the event, then I'll make sure that you get the bonuses from Luke. Man, I don't. That's a ton of questions here, man.
Yeah, they're just rolling through.
I'm over to get through all of these. See anything that pops up at you. Oh, Greg, the second option no longer available. Yeah, actually, VIP is sold out. But actually, oh man, I'm glad you mentioned that. I actually just talked to my event planner, and the hotel is going to give us a little bigger room for the party. So I have space for 10 more VIPs. So when I get off of here, I'm going to update the page and put the link back for the VIP. So we have 10 VIP seats that just became available. So I will change that, and if you guys want to do the VIP level, then you will be able to in about 2 minutes or less. VIP is 16.97, $500 more. I will not be able to make to the event, so the online recording, etc., include access to the toolset showed today. Yes. Event register link, gregdavisevent.com. Just go down to the bottom, and there's the link to buy. So all right, man, we're over 5 minutes over. So I'm gonna let me hop over here, and I'll put that change that web page real quick, and then if you guys have any more questions, just send them to the info@superfilletrockstar.com. If you have any more questions for myself or Luke, and then if you have questions for Luke, I'll forward them to him.
Cool.
Unless he wants you to email him directly. I don't know. Looks
I don't have like a generic email, or I'd give it out.
okay,
So
no problem. Okay, well, I'll just forward any important questions to you. All right, you guys. Hey, I appreciate you guys being on. Again, I know this was kind of a tease for you, but we want you to come to the event, and then you can get the full scoop of everything that we got going on. Okay, so again, this is this is some powerful stuff. I mean, you saw with your own eyes what you can do, and we were telling you, what people are doing with it. I mean, to the tune of 2, 3, even $400,000 per day. Okay, so waiting for a little old Mr. 50K a day. We're talking Mr. 300K a day, 300, 400K a day. All right, so I'm not there yet, but I'm just getting access to this stuff actually the same time as you, so it's going to be exciting for me as well. But anyway, thanks for being on. Thanks for doing the webinar, Luke. I appreciate it,
you got
man.
it.
And
You
hopefully
got
we'll
it.
see a bunch of you guys in DC in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we'll see you guys in DC.